what would you suggest they could do to find new ways of putting customers on the green lines? And
Yeah.
before you dive into that, because you keep answering that, what are the pitfalls that might be associated with these really creative ideas?
So, one of the things that we advocate is having the green line model, but then supplementing it with the cost value metrics. But before we get to the cost value metrics, there's a little cheeky creative bit to do in between, and we've both done this with clients, is to ask them to get as creative as they can, and whether it's through post-its, we get through the occasional mounting of post-its, whether it's through post-its and just a blank wall, and giving people permission to go wild. We call it no fire hosing, and we might reference the Pacific Power and Light Company's tale of the bears, the honey and the helicopters. Still waiting for a response from them to say whether or not that really did happen, but it's a good story nonetheless. And the idea being, if we can free up people's minds, if we allow them to run wild with their imagination and say, what are all of the possible things that you could do to put a customer on the green line? We've seen some interesting things. Remember the shopping centre? They said, we'll get helicopters, we'll fly everybody in. And then they said, that's crazy, what we'll do is we'll get chauffeurs and chauffeur everybody in instead. But they got that down to a real practical thing that they could do. So we start off with the principle of, here's the green line, here's the psychology of consumer behaviour principle. Give yourself permission to go wild, come up with all the ideas, no fire hosing, anything goes, and then we map it onto the cost value matrix. Now the cost value matrix, just to clarify, is the cost to us, so you can see the model here, it's the cost to the business of implementing this, but it's the value or potential value to the client if it's implemented. So just to confirm that again, it's the potential cost to the business of implementing it, but it's the potential value to the client of it being implemented. And what we need to do is to get it in that sweet spot, as you can see on the model, that green area, where it's high value to the client, but low cost to the business. So we take all of those weird and wonderful and brilliant ideas and we map them across. Anything that naturally is going to go into that green zone, that is fantastic, we're on to a winner already. But let's not dismiss some of the other things, because if it's still high value or potential high value to a customer or client, but it might be the wrong side of the cost, this is where we need to say, okay, well, how can we take the intent of that idea, and how can we deliver that so it retains the value or potential value, but it reduces the cost down? And again, this is where people will get really imaginative and say, well, what is it we're trying to do with that? What are we trying to achieve, and what are some of the ways that we might be able to deliver that, but on a budget?